for the last 562 press conferences I've given, I didn't wear a necktie. So this is a new deal. Jim, good to see you. I look forward to getting to know all of you over the course of our time here. I know a few of you from my days as a coach. When I made the decision this year to evaluate how I would feel being away from the game after coaching for a long time, I realized I missed it a lot. Then I had to make a decision, or we had to make a decision, whether I would stay on the field or attempt a new challenge. So after much consideration, I thought that I would like to approach the NFL and a team in a different way, a new challenge, if you will. So once that was done, Randy Lerner approached us. We had some wonderful discussions and meetings, and the rest, as they say, is history. So I'm very, very excited to be here. I'm excited about the possibilities of what we could do, and understanding that any organization that has change like this can expect some change. So, but I've had the privilege and the pleasure of meeting a number of folks in the organization. Today's my first day. I still have a whole lot of folks to meet. We're going to be making some decisions by the end of the week, hopefully. But something that I thought could be done rather quickly. Sometimes there are a lot of rules in the NFL, as you know, as far as hiring people, and we're going to abide by those rules. And teams are in playoffs, those types of considerations, and so it's probably going to take a little bit longer than I had hoped, but looking forward to the challenge of not necessarily rebuilding the Browns, because the Browns have a wonderful, wonderful history, but being a part of getting the team back to where they should be. And I'm talking about the playoffs and potentially the Super Bowl. That's the goal of every organization in this business. I had the privilege of my first head coaching job was in Green Bay, and my second one was in Seattle. And in both instances, I think we did a good job of going in there and fixing things a little bit and eventually playing in the Super Bowl, which is the hope of every player and certainly of every person in the organization. One quick story: when we won the Super Bowl in Green Bay, it had been a long time since Coach Lombardi that they had participated in the Super Bowl, much less win it. And I remember being in the Superdome in Louisiana, sitting in the coach's room there. Some of you know where that is. And there were a lot of happy folks in there. And I asked them to leave for just a second, and so I could be by myself. And I remember thinking, the players you could hear the players, the coaches, but there's so many more people that were enjoying that win. There's so many more people that make up an organization and deserve being the credit for building something up and eventually playing in that game. So we're going to try very, very hard to get everybody pulling in the same direction, and hopefully, it'll have a happy ending. So once again, I'm very, very excited. I would like to, before I go any farther, I'd like to introduce my wife, Kathy. We had gotten rid of all our snow equipment when we left Green Bay. But you know what? It's beautiful outside. It's beautiful, and we're very, very happy to be here. So, thank you. Questions? Yes, sir.
Tony Zarella from CBS 19.
Tony.
Welcome to Cleveland.
Thank you.
Can you confirm you met with Eric Mangini today, and can you update us on where that stands in terms of your decision?
Well, you know, that's an important question for the organization. And I met with Eric briefly, but not the meeting. Okay, I saw him. He was busy. They're getting their year-end evaluations completed. I saw a number of the coaches, but we have a meeting scheduled for tomorrow. And, you know, what I asked him to do is I asked him to think about a few things this evening. I didn't want to really get any sort of answer or any feeling from him today, but I did give him a list of things to think about for our meeting tomorrow. You know, in fairness to Eric, you know, instead of getting blindsided with a bunch of hot questions from me, I was a coach for a long time. And it's important that he understands where I'm coming from. It's important that I understand where he's coming from. And the only way you win in this league is if the coach and the person in my position and or general manager are absolutely on the same wavelength. That's the only way you have a chance. You know, you've all seen organizations that you kind of scratch your head and they, why doesn't it work for them? They should be better, or their record should be better, or whatever. And it boils down to, you can pinpoint it, is that egos get in the way. Everyone establishes their little power base, and it destroys the team. At least it doesn't let them accomplish what they should accomplish. So my goal is to have that feeling in this building, is to have everyone thinking in a like manner, going in the same direction. Let's put all the egos aside for a second, and let's get around the job of winning. So that meeting I'm going to have with him tomorrow.
Mike, I'm Tom with the Associated Press.
Hey, Tom.
Good to see you. Can you confirm a report that Tom Eckert will be in to interview for the general manager's position?
Tom is coming in tomorrow. Yes.
Do you have any other candidates lined up?
Yes, we do.
Can you share some of those?
No, I can't. Thanks for asking, though. Yes, sir.
Mary Kay Cabot from the Convenience Dealer. Does Eric have a legitimate chance to win you over in this meeting tomorrow?
Absolutely. Otherwise, I wouldn't have set the meeting up. I mean, I am, when you get to know me a little bit, and some of you in the room know me a little bit, I don't dance too much. And I appreciate people that'll shoot straight, and so I wouldn't do that to him. We're going to have a meeting and maybe a couple of meetings this week, but I hope to have that resolved by the end of the week. Yes, sir.
Mike, John Tellich, Fox 8, welcome to Cleveland.
Thank you.
Question about Josh Cribbs. Obviously the most valuable, most popular player. How strongly do you feel that he needs to have a new contract? How soon could that be accomplished?
Well, that's the question. You know, we've been in contact with his representatives, even when I was in Arizona. I believe players should be rewarded for what they do. I have no problems with that at all. And so what happens, though, on occasion is our view of how much that should be and the agent's view of how much that should be differs. So we have made an effort. We'll continue to make an effort to handle Josh's situation. I want Josh here. Okay. Now he's got 3 years left on his existing contract. But so it's a little unprecedented to start doing things this early in a contract like that. But having said that, a player should get what he deserves, in my opinion. And he's been a fine player. So it's just that business part of it that we're going through now. We're trying, and I hope how we do that is good enough.